What if you could tap into the wisdom of some of history's greatest thinkers, all focused on how to live a good life? Well, in this explainer, we're going to do just that. We are unlocking some powerful lessons from philosophy to get to the heart of one of life's biggest questions. You know, it's a question that echoes through the ages, right? It's something we all ask ourselves. Is the secret more money? Is it power? Or is it just plain old happiness? Finding that answer, well, that's our quest today. All right, so here's our game plan. We've broken down this massive question into 4 key areas. First, we'll lay down a solid foundation for how to think. Then we're going to turn inward to master our own minds. After that, we'll see how that applies to leadership in the real world. And finally, we'll get to the big one, how to live wisely, knowing our time is limited. Okay, first things first. Before you can even think about building a good life, you need a solid foundation. And you know what that foundation is? It all starts with how you think. So let's dive into the most critical first step, building our knowledge on solid ground. This image is pretty powerful, isn't it? It's a huge warning sign. If we're not careful, our entire understanding of the world, what we believe, what we chase after, even who we think we are, could be built on something incredibly shaky, just waiting to fall apart. So we're basically at a fork in the road here. On one side, you've got fanciful speculation. Just spinning your wheels with ideas that go absolutely nowhere. On the other side, you've got true science, methodically building your understanding piece by piece. This isn't just some abstract idea either. It's about choosing to build your life on what's real, not on wishful thinking. Okay, so once we've got that solid foundation of reason in place, the journey turns inward. We shift our focus from the outside world to the one place we have absolute control, the citadel of our own mind. And this, my friends, is where Stoic wisdom really comes alive. Now, this is an absolutely crucial idea. Look, life is going to throw curveballs at you. That's a guarantee. But the pain we feel doesn't actually come from the event itself. It comes from the story we tell ourselves about it. What this really means is that our own peace of mind is ultimately in our hands. So how do we actually do this? Well, these principles are like a toolkit. You'll notice they all have one thing in common. They're all about shifting your perspective. So instead of reacting with anger, you respond with a little humility, a little understanding. It's about realizing that you are in control of the ruling faculty of your mind. And that is your single greatest strength. This one really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? The text reminds us that physical strength, well, it's temporary. You have this mighty wrestler, Milo, who eventually just weeps over his own aging arms. But the strength of a sharp, wise mind, like Nestor's, that's the stuff that actually lasts a lifetime. That's what conquers Troy. Okay, so you've built your foundation of reason. You've fortified your inner world. So what's next? It's time to engage with the world around you. And this is where we get some incredible lessons on justice and leadership, not from a boring rulebook, but through really compelling stories. And to see this in action, let's dive into a little story. We meet a man named Judge Adosines. Now, he was known for being clever, sure, but his real genius wasn't just knowing the law. It was understanding people. And that's the secret sauce, right? That's what made him a truly great leader. So check this out. This is his brilliant method right here. It's like something out of a detective story. He doesn't just ask questions, he creates a situation where the thieves have no choice but to reveal themselves. The proof wasn't hidden somewhere, it was literally written on their skin. But here's the kicker. This is where he goes from just being smart to being truly wise. See, catching the bad guys was one thing. It's what he does next that really matters. He understands the dynamics of the crime, knows the difference between the leader and the follower, and he blends justice with compassion. That is the art of leadership. And that brings us to the final leg of our journey, where all this wisdom really comes together. How do we apply everything we've learned to life's biggest challenge? The fact that our time is short and loss is a part of the deal. Man, that line, it's a real punch to the gut, isn't it? It's this powerful warning against putting things off. And we're not talking about chores here. We're talking about putting off our lives. So many of us wait until the very end to start living, only to realize we've completely run out of time. This is a question aimed right at all of us. Why on earth do we give our best years, our best energy to our jobs and to trivial things, and save only the scraps, the remnant of life for what actually matters? It forces you to wonder, are we giving the pursuit of wisdom the time it deserves, or are we just giving it our leftovers? But here's the flip side, the solution.
It's a fascinating idea. Most people, because they waste so much time, they make their one life feel like even less. But the wise, by living with purpose, they can make one lifetime feel like many. It's not about a longer life, it's about a deeper one.
And here we have it, the final hard truth. A good life is not a life without pain. It's not a life without loss. That's impossible. No, a good life is one where we find the courage to face that loss head on, to accept what we can't change, and to keep going with dignity. The final ingredient, it turns out, is courage. And so this is where we end. All this incredible wisdom, from building a solid foundation for our minds to facing our own mortality, it all boils down to this one single urgent question. The years are flying by. So knowing what you know now, what are you going to do with the one day you're guaranteed? What are you going to do with today?